honestly, the Indiana Fever played some of their best team basketball without Caitlin Clark. And that's because she's like the sun that offense kind of orbits around. The ball is constantly in her hands, which just made their offense extremely easy to guard. Now, without her in the lineup, Stephanie White had to decide who else was going to get in the mix. And their offense became so much more diverse. We saw Kelsey Mitchell having a tremendous season. Lexi Hole got in the fold. Aaliyah Boston, another dominant season. But all because they had to do it without Caitlin Clark. And that made their offense extremely hard to guard.
What's up, Fever Nation? I could only take so much. After I heard this video and another one I'm going to show you, I was thinking, what in the Sam Hill is going on? What is going on in the WNBA orbit that they have to talk about Caitlin Clark like this? Now, I'm going to show you some statistics from her rookie season that's going to totally dispel all of this nonsense and foolishness that you have been hearing today. Now, I happen to think this may be a way ESPN is promoting their game tomorrow, because right now they're having trouble selling tickets to fill up the arena. So if they can't get people in the arena, maybe they're going to try and drum up some views online or streaming or however they need to make it. Because we still know the Fever is the most viewed team in the WNBA. Yes, everyone likes the Aces and the Liberty, but more eyes are on the Fever when they play, which is why they have all 44 games televised.
I'm going to be sympathetic to Stephanie White and the Fever organization, because I'm just telling you, Caitlin, as a point guard, the first 2 years, and particularly last year, and she only played a little bit last year, but she's never really demonstrated the ability. I watched them in a preseason game this year, and it was like they went the first 4 minutes of the game, and Caitlin had the ball, and she was the point guard. And Kelsey Mitchell never got a shot, barely touched the basketball. And I'm like, Caitlin Clark doesn't realize, like, Isaiah Thomas would be out there with the Pistons and know, like, hey, man, I got to get Joe Dumars a shot, because I got to get him warmed up and into the game. And Caitlin Clark just gets lost in her own world. I hit my first 2 shots in her mind, and that means I'm going to take 3 more to figure out if I'm in a hot streak and whether I'm about to have this incredible night. She's not thinking about her other team because she's never had to. And it's not because she's a terrible person. It's like the only way she won in high school and the only way she won in college was with her shooting the ball.
Caitlin Clark's not a point guard. She's a lead guard. That's what we call that, the lead guard. They will dominate the ball, but they're not thinking about, hey, this player hasn't touched the ball in a while. Let me get them the ball. Caitlin Clark generally she plays for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark's not a point guard. She's a lead guard. That's what we call that, the lead guard. They will dominate the ball, but they're not thinking about, hey, this player hasn't touched the ball in a while. Let me get them the ball. Caitlin Clark generally she plays for Caitlin Clark. I remember when Jason Kidd, he was coaching the Milwaukee Bucks for a moment. When he first came in, a coach had gotten fired. He took their place, and they're watching game film. And Jason Kidd paused the game film, and the whole team's in the room. He said, "Who's our best player?" And he goes around the room and asks everybody, "Who's our best player?" And Chris Middleton said, "Me." And then he goes to Giannis, and Giannis says, "Me." You can't have that on a team that's going to win. Everybody needs to know who Michael Jordan is. Everybody has to know Kobe is Kobe. And I don't think on the Indiana Fever, everybody would say Caitlin Clark's the best player.
News travels fast, Fever Nation. Yes, right, Jason Whitlock. Now, you know Jason Whitlock used to be on ESPN. He used to be, now even though he's branched out, he's still part of the same tree. Okay, so he's pushing this agenda too. He's invited these guys on to talk about Caitlin Clark, and notice the narrative. The narrative now Caitlin Clark has an issue. Now she may not be the best player on that team. But notice he didn't say who was the best player. Okay, if you don't think so, well then who is? Come on now. If you're gonna go there, go there. Come on now. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard today, which is why I had to do this video. Because I'm like, okay, enough is enough. Maybe they're trying to drum up some support for tomorrow's game, because it's a 10 a.m. tip-off, Fever Nation, 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, a.m., 9 a.m. So I just wanted to put this out here because I'm about to show you some statistics that is going to totally dispel all of this foolishness that we've heard thus far. Because you can't have these type of statistics if what the young lady said in the beginning, Laurencia, I don't know if that's Mouton or Moton. I know in some cultures it's pronounced Mouton. And I don't know, I think Whitlock called this guy Barry. I'm sure he's a former NBA player. I hope he has some knowledge of basketball, because to make the comment he made without any support is ridiculous.
Caitlin Clark's not a point guard. She's a lead guard. That's what we call that, the lead guard. They will dominate the ball, but they're not thinking about, hey, this player hasn't touched the ball in a while. Let me get them the ball. Caitlin Clark generally she plays for Caitlin Clark.
Honestly, the Indiana Fever played some of their best team basketball without Caitlin Clark. And that's because she's like the sun that offense kind of orbits around. The ball is constantly in her hands, which just made their offense extremely easy to guard.
Now, Fever Nation, let's deal in reality. You have never heard a GM, a coach, assistant coach, a scout say this type of foolishness. No one has come on the podium pre-game, post-game presser and said that the Fever is easier to guard when Caitlin Clark is on the floor. I just played you a tape of Don Staley a couple of videos ago talking about how impactful Caitlin can be from her position. This is Don Staley. And now you have this woman, Laurencia Moton, played at Hartford University. I've never heard of her. And that's not shade. I'm just saying, look how they pull these people out of the woodworks to make these kinds of comments. The young brother that on with Jason Whitlock talking about Caitlin Clark is about Caitlin Clark. The statistics don't bear the same reality. How can you lead the league in assists? The girl, Caitlin Clark, broke the league assist record her first season in the W. So how could you make this statement? We can't look at last year because she only played in 13 games. She probably would have let me remember this, Fever Nation. Those of you who remember her rookie season. She would have put that record out of reach, probably been closer to 400 assists if her players could handle, if the veterans she played with, think about that, the veterans she played with could handle her passes. How many turnovers did you see go through the hands of wide open players because they were not ready for her passes?
The best player we coached against, we only coached against Caitlin twice, right? Both times she had over 30, right? I don't know if there's a player that I coached against that had 30 points against us in the two times that they played. Both one's a win and one's a loss. I would say she's probably the most difficult to scout, to play against, in that she can beat you a variety of ways. She can beat you with her 3-point shot. But for me, the most dangerous thing of Caitlin Clark is her passing ability, her ability to make other people better, and her ability to have, other people's production along with her production. That's how you win. If you can get somebody to produce along with her, if you could take that away, and that was our emphasis when we won, when we beat them in the semifinals. No, actually it was the finals last year. We said Caitlin Clark's going to get 30. She can't have 12 assists.